All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about GoGuardian. GoGuardian's been around for a very long time. It's been a great classroom management tool when it comes to be able to set up sessions, to be able to observe what's happening in your classroom. This is nothing new, but it's something to share with every staff member. So if the student has a Chromebook, it's already applied to their device, and you could control your environment. If you're importing via Google Classroom, you have the ability to import here, load up your Google Classrooms and add it here if you're not a Google Classroom person, because I know that over at DLS, first grade and second grade, they do not have it. They could create their classroom directly from here. Additionally, when you're in here, you have the ability to view your sessions, view your recordings if you record anything that's in your sessions, add code teachers, add students, archive your class, remove your class, things to remember about that. If you're running a session, you could also have chat turned on. You could change how long you want your time to be. And so during your sessions, if you have that, that allows you to be able to non-verbally be able to communicate with your students without having to take action throughout the entire classroom. Now, cool, that exists. We know that exists as well. But the one thing I wanted to share is Scenes. Scenes is amazing. Scenes essentially makes you a network admin to be able to block things that you don't want students to see, and you do have students focus on just the resources that you're using. So if I was to, you could create a blocked list or you could create a allowed list. So blocked list essentially is saying, I want you to block these websites. I don't want to, I want students to have open to the internet that we have available, but I want them to block certain things. Or you can do an allowed list, which essentially blocks everything, only allows the website you need. You could create lists, or you could have ones like, here's one I already created where I am just adding websites of all the resources I want my kids to have access to, and everything else is now blocked. So that's kind of cool. Additionally, you could actually click on this thing called the Quick List. Quick List has some that they already produced from GoGuardian, or ones you've already created as well. So I created one called the Core Apps, which I started adding a bunch of websites that typically our students would go to here, so that I don't have to constantly add my resources or create lists, and that automatically will add it to my list. Sweet, submit that save. All right, so now if I am in my classroom, I could start my session, and my session is now started. I do have a test account behind here that should be able to show exactly what that is doing. So here's my test class that I'm running with my test student. So that does show that that student is now in Google Classroom, which is on my allowed list, which is great. On top of that, right now I haven't applied a scene. It's just showing what the kid's doing. So we want to make sure we hit apply scene. And then I can select all. So if say I have 30 kids in my classroom, I'll select all, or say you have a few kids that you need to apply a scene to, such as my Eric test. My Eric test constantly goes out and tangents, goes to websites he shouldn't go to. So I am going to just click on that student. But if I had 50 other kids on here, I could do that as well. Now I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? Well, I have to make sure I select my scenes. So here is the scenes that I have created for myself. So it's my allowed classroom. I'm gonna hit my applied scene. So now that student is allowed to use that website, but not allowed to do other websites as well. So if I wanted to have this student go to something that they're not supposed to, I'll just go, yeah, I don't know why I say Yahoo. It's like a really old way of doing things. Let's go to Yahoo Sports, right? That is now blocked. Why is it blocked? Because it's not part of my scene, which is nice to see. So, and then from your teacher perspective here, it shows that it's blocked by admin, that's there. And as a teacher, you can actually view the screen on what the student's doing. You could chat saying to redirect that student on what they're doing, annotate their screen if you like, so on and so forth, or you could even push them to something that they should be doing. So you could actually make this more of an active. And now that's not active for that kid, which is great. So it kind of, what I really like about this really controls your entire environment for your students, what you can and can't do. Scenes, I mean, honestly, I wish I had stuff like this when I was in the classroom, but you control your entire environment by using GoGuardian, by your sessions, redirecting students, as well as using Scenes, which is you're like a network admin. You get to control your environment. So try it out. You could also do a PD ticket if you want to get some one-on-one with the tech team on how to use Scenes. It's a great resource. Check it out.